Uh, Bum, 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 bum. Greetings, everyone. I am Greg, aka Cookbook Thor, and I hope you're ready for Yinz Dahn to list them because I have a special guest here today, and it's the King of the Monsters himself, Godzilla, right next to me, and joining me live via satellite. And as you can see, he's even repping our Yinz Dahn to list him. Wow. Although he may have another identity, I understand, under that.
Being that I can't really talk with that mask on, I'm going to go ahead and just reveal my secret identity. I'm Rob, aka JibbsWarrior. So now that I'm back to
Yes.
my normal self, I can just I can put old old green skin away here for a little
Yeah,
while.
our beloved Masagoji Ogawa Studios Godzilla puppets. They are beautiful to behold, but they are asphyxiating to wear.
And the nice thing about this show, Greg, is we get props. Usually, when people are
I
listening to us via audio, there's no show and tell.
hmm Oh, there will be much show and much tell. That is one of my favorite things about the video medium. Yeah, so
Hmm.
what we have for you today is our top 10 Godzilla films, and we're gonna start down at the bottom and work our way up to our number one favorite of the entire franchise, of which Rob and I are both tremendous fans, and we're going to tell you a little bit about why every entry in the series is as awesome as it is. So, without further ado, shall we start with number 10? Go right ahead, Rob.
All right, so at my number 10, and the only reason it's at number 10 is because I have to put it on the list, but I have to put it lower than another one because it's the return of Godzilla. So it's a reboot that restored the Godzilla's menace. It kind of got a little campy before that. It's
Hmm.
loved for its tone and its Cold War ties, but in 1984, this brought it back into oh my, Godzilla's going to destroy stuff. He's not just going to fight for us. So this one makes it on my list at number 10, but it could have slipped out to an honorable mention, but it gets the number 10 spot for me.
Hmm. Yeah, and that is certainly a great one. I remember seeing that on TV when I was a kid under the title Godzilla 1985, where they edited Raymond Burr back into it as sort of a tip of the hat to Godzilla King of the Monsters. And I thought it was
Hmm.
the coolest thing I ever saw. Godzilla was uglier and meaner than ever, and he was back to being a bad guy like he was in the first movies. And yeah, that's definitely a classic. Yeah.
Yep,
And
yep.
my number 10 is 1995's Godzilla versus Destroyer.
Mm.
And that is on the short list of films that can make me tear up, because of not just the demise of Godzilla Jr., but Godzilla himself. And although it does kind of come back around, um, they got better because they made more movies. But
Right, right.
uh,
Yep. It
yeah,
was
but
not
it's
it was not the end.
yeah, it's yeah, it ties back into the 1954 original in an awesome way, and really presents arguably the most insurmountable foe that Godzilla's ever had in Destroya. And yeah, there's not a dull moment in that one. So I'm a
Hmm.
big fan.
Yes, yes. I'll let you go with your number 9.
Number nine already. My number nine is going into the Showa area. It is Godzilla versus Mecha Godzilla from 1972.
Four.
That's another one I have fond memories of watching on TV as a child. I watched it. I remember watching it on WPTT Channel 22 under the title Godzilla versus the Cosmic Monster, and I have a VHS of it under that release as well. So
Oh.
yeah, that's a special one to me. It starts out with the battle with Anguirus and what appears to be a slightly off Godzilla, and it turns out it's not Godzilla at all, and we get Mecha Godzilla, and we get King Caesar to
Hmm.
assist, and it was great fun for a kid.
I loved how you would get more than just Godzilla and one kaiju. You'd get something else. You didn't know it going in, but you got them. So it was always a bonus. So
Mm-hmm.
my number 9 is the OG 1954 Godzilla. The original, the most powerful, atomic age story that launched a legend. Basically, Godzilla is by all definition a legend, and it's because of this film. It has a haunting tone, and at the time in 1954, the social commentary was unmatched, and it still holds up in whatever version you want to watch. You want to watch the original Gojira, the Japanese version, or you want to watch the the Western version, so to speak, that has been Americanized. It's just it sets the tone. It could probably be higher on my list, and it probably is higher on the critical lists. But it still makes mine, this low just because it opened the door for me for a lot of different flavors in this genre. Um, so I
Indeed.
have it number eight. I'll go with number eight. This is
Hmm.
Giant Monsters All Out Attack from 2001. Godzilla just becomes this vessel of vengeance. He's basically driven by a restless spirit. It's bold, it's eerie, it's emotional, and I love the mythic twist of this movie. I don't necessarily know if this one, ranks high on critical acclaim, but it's definitely in my top 10. I love this one. And it's, newer. I mean, we're talking 25 years ago, but it's still newer in comparison to some of the other in the franchise. So that's my number eight, Giant Monsters All Out Attack.
An excellent choice. Yeah. And my number eight is Destroy All Monsters. Now, this was a movie I did not see as a kid. It, for some reason, was not aired on the TV stations that I watched my Showa era Godzilla movies on, but I did read about it in the Crestwood House monster books that I got out of my school library, which I could not get enough of those. And it told me about this big monster mashup called Destroy All Monsters. And um, when I finally got around to renting movies as I got older, that was one of the first ones I rented, and it did not disappoint.
Mm.
And it's, yeah, you've got pretty much every monster in the Toho canon to that point makes an appearance. And yeah, King Ghidorah gets beat up so bad you almost feel sorry for him at the end.
Yeah, yep. So no, that's a good
Yes,
one for sure.
that is a great one. Yes, and I have Crestwood House books to thank for that, which I wrote an article about that in Monster Bash magazine a few years ago. Which,
Oh, excellent.
yeah, if you nudge me, perhaps I'll send you the issue number, and you should go buy one at the Monster Bash in October if you haven't already. For everyone out there listening,
Yeah, there you go. All right. Where are we at? Number seven?
number seven. Yes.
So I have Godzilla versus King Ghidorah, 1991. It's time travel, Cold War tension, a revamped origin story. Ghidorah is a menace, and the film's ambition kind of really make it stand out. I think that of the big bads, I think Ghidorah is kind of like right up there at the top. One of the most recognizable of Godzilla's villains. So this one kind of with the with the time traveling element of this, it's just fun all the way around. So just outside my top 10, but still on the list.
Mhm. That's an excellent choice. Yeah, and mine is not too far off as far as the subject matter. My number seven is going to be Invasion of Astro Monster, aka Godzilla versus Monster Zero,
Mm,
which was the second appearance of the mighty King Ghidorah in the Showa series of Godzilla films, and he got to take on Godzilla and Rodan again, and another one where they were sort of nudging Godzilla. He was no longer a heel in wrestling terms. He was a tweener by this point.
hmm
He was
right.
still dangerous and destructive, but he could be made to do the right thing. And yeah, that trend would continue until his full fledged face turn, which I would say was Son of Godzilla.
hmm hmm Yeah. Yeah.
Yeah, yeah.
What do you
And
got at number
that brings us,
six?
yes, number six.
So Terror of Mechagodzilla is my number six from 1975. So this is your final Showa era entry. Um, had some, it was dark, it was tragic. There was a really good direction in this movie. It's definitely a cult favorite. It has emotional weight and it has an eerie tone to it. But just just a great one to go out with for Showa on. So definitely I definitely had a struggle to put this one at six versus five, but well, I'll talk about five and why it edged this one out here in a minute.
Hmm. Yeah, that's an excellent choice. Yeah, the Showa series definitely went out on a high note with that one.
Hmm.
Yeah, yeah, Godzilla took a little break.
Yep.
But yeah. My number six is Ghidorah the Three-Headed Monster. First appearance of King Ghidorah himself, and it was definitely established him as arguably the third most iconic in the series after Godzilla and Mothra. So
Hmm.
I think it's fair. It's probably fair to say either him or Rodan would be uh, the trinity of Toho Kaiju.
Yep.
And
Yep.
I don't know. It's more of a Mount Rushmore. It's more of a four with the four of them. I would say
Yeah.
Mothra got to say, "Hey, quit beating each other up. You got a bigger problem, you dummies." And it was,
Yeah.
but yeah, Ghidorah the Three-Headed Monster was one I would drop everything and watch that one when I was a kid. And you know what? I still would as an adult.
Yeah. Yeah. Now that we don't have our Pluto channel, it's not as easy to stumble across
Yeah,
them.
yeah. I'm feeling the loss of that particularly in recent weeks. Yeah, so
Hmm.
I guess
Hmm.
that's what we got DVDs for.
Yep. Yep. Exactly. So I'm gonna
Mhm.
let you kick it off with number five.
Alrighty, yes. My number five is Shin Godzilla, which is yeah, one of the more recent entries, and it's yeah, the ugliest and one of the most unique Godzillas that we've seen to date, and it had sort of its own set of social commentary about ineffective bureaucracy, which
Hmm.
I think it may have hit a little different in the native Japanese than it did to us in the States, but the point is still well taken. And yeah, it was Godzilla did things that I did not expect him to ever do, and I was hearing rumors that this one might get a sequel sometime in the near future, maybe, kind of.
I don't think it's off the table from everything that I read. I mean,
Mm-hmm.
it was well received and it definitely went a different direction.
Mm-hmm.
So,
Yeah, I saw that one in the theater, I believe, when it had a limited release in the States, and I was in the very front row, and I was just bending my neck like this the whole time, and it was a lot to take in.
yeah, yeah, for sure, for sure. Which is a great segue to my number five because my number
Mm-hmm.
five is Godzilla minus one from 2023. So, you know,
Mm-hmm.
your most recent entrant, you know, if you're listening to this before the next one comes out. But you know, this one was a critical success, Oscar winner,
Mm-hmm.
post-war reimagining. It just stunned me, and the emotional storytelling that came with this film outside of the Godzilla arc was great as well. And it obviously had breathtaking visuals. The more technology advances and we get into CGI and things like that. But I saw this one in an immersive screen. I don't really know what they call it, but it kind of wrapped all the way around peripheral.
Mm-hmm.
And it was a little like blurry on the edges, but it was so you were immersed in the movie. I saw it at actually at the Mall of America on a
Oh
business
well.
trip, but I didn't go see the black and white one, but I own the black and white one. So
Mm-hmm.
this one definitely makes the top five for me because it's just some of the stuff that they put into it, his splines expanding before his atomic breath and the destruction. It's just great all the way around. So, and
Mm-hmm.
I know they are filming the next one of this chapter, so I'm really looking forward to
Mm-hmm.
that.
Certainly, yes. And it brings us to number four.
Godzilla Final Wars. Wild
Mm-hmm.
celebration of the franchise. Matrix style action. Dozens of kaiju. It's basically chaos unapologetically the whole time, and it's fun for it. So definitely sneaks into the top five easily, just because I have to give it a tip because of the amount of kaiju in the movie. That's really kind of
Mm-hmm.
what brings it up there, and it's just fun the whole time. So, Final Wars is definitely inside that top five for me.
That's a great one. Yeah, it's probably the modern equivalent of Destroy All Monsters,
Uh
I would say. Yeah, it's
huh.
good stuff. Yep. And my number four is Mothra versus Godzilla from 1963. Yeah,
Good one.
I'd say it's probably the definitive Godzilla battle. It's got everything that like all the tropes are there, and but it was before they had really become tropes. This one really, to me, it's pretty much the gold standard of the Showa era and the Godzilla franchise. It's we've got the heroic Mothra, the evil Godzilla, and yeah, the greedy humans causing trouble,
Hmm.
and yeah, the climactic battle, which was quite emotional and also satisfying. So yeah, it's one I can watch over and over.
Yep, yep. So number three for me, the top three, well, the two and three for me, I will say, are probably interchangeable. But Godzilla versus Biollante takes my number three
Mhm.
spot for this show. Um, a genetically engineered plant monster with a philosophical edge. You know, I just the haunting atmosphere of this one, its originality. Uh, this is one as a collector of Godzilla merchandise. It's hard for me to not pick up Biolante stuff, just because of the way it was designed, and the movie itself just lends to that. So definitely, this one could have easily slipped to the second spot for me, but I'm going to leave it land here at number three.
Mhm. That is a fine choice. Yeah, yeah. Biolante is one of the coolest looking kaiju for sure.
Hmm.
Yeah, my number three is going to be King Kong versus Godzilla, 1962.
Mm.
It's probably the entry that I watched the most times as a kid because when my family first got a VCR, it was the first movie I bought, and I watched it over and over and over. And I've still got that tape, and it brought me a lot of joy. And I couldn't wait to get the original Japanese version when it was finally available in the States. And I watched that one multiple times as well as an adult. Yeah,
Awesome.
that was, I mean, it's really, it speaks to my inner wrestling fan having the two big behemoths going at each
Uh-huh.
other, you know? Yeah.
Everybody
And
wants to
really,
see a battle.
mhm. And yeah, the Japanese version has a little more overt humor to it, although there's humor in the American version for sure. But the Japanese version, I think, leans a little more into it, and yeah, it's great fun to watch, and it's yeah, it was nice to see them bring them back together in recent years.
Oh yeah, yeah. It's something that moved the box office needle with some of these legendary pictures as well, because you
Mhm.
have them as a fight slash team up type thing that really it sells merchandise too. To be honest. So
Yeah, I might have bought a little bit.
yep. So what do you got for number two?
Number two, my number two is Godzilla minus one.
Mm.
Hmm. Yeah, there's not much I can say about it that hasn't already been discussed. It is yeah, a fine, not just a fine Godzilla movie, but a fine film in general. And
Mm.
it's one that you can show to non-kaiju fans. And if it doesn't impress them, then they're just being difficult.
They just want to be difficult. Want to be.
Hmm.
I am actually shocked we made it to number two before the first overlap. It just goes to show you the amount of variety that this franchise has.
Yes, they're all so good. Yeah, they're all
Yep,
worth seeing.
yep, for sure. So I have my first show and tell piece for my number two. So my number two is going to be my Laserdisc copy of Godzilla versus Destroyer from 1995. Still sealed, by the way, Laserdisc. So if you know anybody that has a Laserdisc, they can't borrow this because it's never been opened. But Godzilla's death is it's heartbreaking. So we are overlapping. For the like I said at number two finally. But again, I think Greg said it. Powerful send off to this era of Godzilla, nuclear dread, emotional gravity. It had it all. Hence why I bought a sealed Laserdisc version of this, because I love the imagery, and I think this film's awesome. So that was my number
Indeed, it
two.
is. Hmm.
So I'm gonna go first with my number one, because
Already.
you're the definitive host of Yinz Down to list them. So I
Hmm.
have another show and tell piece. I'm sure this is not going to come as any surprise to Greg because he knows my favorite Godzilla movie. But Godzilla versus Hedorah. This is a Japanese rental tape that I was able to pick up. So it's actually a rental from a rental store in Japan. But this movie, it's psychedelic, it's weird, it's environmentally charged, it's divisive, but an unforgettable entry. And this will always be my favorite for boldness. And unless they remake them, which, you never know.
Yeah, we
The
did get
world we
that
live
short
in.
a few years ago with Hedorah coming back.
Yeah, the short was great, but this one is my number one, and this is my outside of Godzilla. Fedora is what I collect. So I love me a smog monster. So,
Mhm.
but I will turn it over, Greg, to you for your number one.
All right. And my number one is going to be the OG Gojira 1954. Yeah, it's just edges out -1 by a hair's breadth. It has yes, yeah, yeah. The tone is just unmatched in sci-fi and monster films and anti-war films, and some scenes are just still cut to the bone no matter how many times I watch them.
Hmm.
Particularly uh, the hospital scene, the prayer for peace. That
Hmm.
is, yeah, that packs a wallop no matter how many times I watch that. And
Hmm.
yeah, and again, the American version is a fine translation as well. I recommend that highly as well. So yeah, that's sits at the top, and yeah, so that brings us to our top 10, and yeah, again, there's so much good stuff in this franchise. Every movie's worth watching, really.
Hmm. Hmm. I mean, come on, look at that smile. How
I
can you
know. Yeah,
not?
you can't say no to a face like this.
Yeah, So it's always worth discussing such a fantastic legendary character.
Indeed. Yes, and we hope you've enjoyed hearing our top 10 Godzilla movies. And if you have any additions you'd like to make to this list, or if you have your own list, well, then just let me know down in the comments section, and I
Absolutely.
will. Hmm.
Thanks for having me as the first guest on Yinz Down to listen.
Oh,
List them.
always a
Sorry.
pleasure. I have a
Old
feeling we'll be doing
habits.
it again. And yeah, everybody else, we will see you next time very soon, I hope.